Hi guys, it's time for next Harry Potter fanfic. This is called Truth or Dare, and it's Hermione slash Charlie Weasley. The bonfire crackled merrily and laughter filled the air as Ron danced around the circle, singing a slightly slurred and very off-key rendition of Weasley is our king. Hermione couldn't help but smile as her friend made a fool of himself in the name of product testing for the twins' latest invention. Last few years had been good to them, though the immediate aftermath of the war had been difficult. They'd made it out the other end. Of course, there were still days that were harder than others, but overall the wounds had healed. It was the small moments like this that reminded her just how lucky they truly were. Applause broke out as Ron finished the last verse. Hermione felt a pang of loss when the weight of Charlie's arm lifted from her shoulders, but thankfully its absence didn't last long. She cuddled against his side when his arm wrapped around her once more, practically melting into him when he kissed the top of her head. Charlie Charlie's presence in her life was both new and exciting, and yet there was a feeling of safety and comfort in his strong arms that she'd never found elsewhere. He felt like home. "All right, Granger, you're up," Fred said, a mischievous grin on his face that made her stomach twist in knots. Truth or dare? She sighed, shaking her head before downing her drink. Butterbeer laced with a few drops of a modified truth serum the twins invented for this specific purpose. In one go. With Fred doing the asking, there was only one answer. If she wished to escape with any of her dignity intact, and even that wasn't guaranteed, truth. Playful cheers sounded from her around her, the others clearly unsatisfied with her choice, but with the Weasley twins, no choice was truly safe. "Fine," Fred replied, throwing out a word in a whine. "But since you've taken away my fun, I want to hear you. Our dear former prefect, tell us about the rule breaking you've done. And nothing boring like missing curfew either. We want to hear the good stuff." She should have been grateful. It should have been an easy question. How many times had she broken the rules at Hogwarts with Ron and Harry after all? Going through the trapdoor at Fluffy's feet, saving Sirius with the time turner, breaking into the Department of Mysteries, the options were plentiful. But they weren't good enough, Hermione realized, with a sinking stomach, because that was the thing about this particular truth serum. It made sure that the answer given was truthful, yes, but also that it was the most truthful. And Hermione knew that there were far worse things that she had done. Her teeth sank into her lower lip as she talked through her options, realizing quickly that she didn't really have any. She wouldn't need to answer the question. It was the only way that the truth serum would wear off. But more than that, she knew that the moment she opened her mouth to say anything, the truth would come out regardless of it she wanted it to or not. The problem was that she had yet to tell Charlie a few things that she was sure were among the top contenders that would fall out of her mouth the moment she opened it. Things she really didn't want him to hear about during a game of truth or dare. So she made the only other logical choice she could think of. She ran. She didn't get very far, not that she'd meant to, really. All she wanted was to get far enough away to offer some semblance of privacy, assuming that only Charlie followed her, so that she could speak her truth to him without doing so in front of the entire group. She made it just past the tree line of the orchard surrounding the barrow before she felt a familiar calloused hand on her shoulder. "Are you all right?" Dark green eyes filled with concern met hers, and she breathed out a sigh of relief when she stood on her toes, to look over his shoulder to find them alone. She nodded but kept her mouth shut tight, watching as comprehension dawned on his face. "Ah, something about the question then. Do you want me to go? I can get Harry or Ron for you, because that was the other thing." She had to answer the question in front of someone from the group that it had been asked in. The twins truly talked of everything. Charlie's solution would be the easy way out, but was that what was for the best? After a moment's consideration, she shook her head, inhaling deeply in an effort to calm herself. She found herself overwhelmed by the scent of smoke, freshly cut grass, and something that was just Charlie. That, more than anything, was what made her open her mouth and rip off the plaster. "I captured Rita Skeeter in a jar and kept her in there for a month the summer after my 4th year." Well, that wasn't what she'd been expecting. What she'd done to her parents' memories was more along the lines of what she thought would come to light, but apparently not. Maybe the fact that Malfoy confirmed that they had been targets let her off the hook for that one, at least subconsciously. "You captured," Charlie started, his wide eyes, a clear indication that her admission was about as far from what he'd expected as possible. "In a jar?" She nodded, giving him a shy smile. "We have quite a bit to talk about." "Clearly," he replied with a chuckle, pulling her into his arms in a tight hug. "But thankfully, we have all the time in the world for you to tell me all about it. I want to know all of your secrets." She wanted to tell him, and she would, but as he said, they had time. And that's it for this time of around this story, which was called Truth or Dare. And it was written by some anonymous guy. So that's it for folks. See you next time. Bye.